Tamoy, how you doing?
Camir, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I was just giving the people some background as to what we're trying to accomplish with this because as we say we have mentorship Mondays. Every Monday we get to speak to hear from our mind, hear from our mentor on the platform. But I think it's a good opportunity for peers, for your peers, for students or whoever who are thinking about joining Minds of Jamaica, what the mentorship thing that we kind of push is all about. So wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of come on board, talk about your experience and so on. So I guess I'll give you opportunity to just introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, thank you so much, Camir. Hi, everybody. My name is Tamoy Campbell. I am a first year law student at UWI now, and I am a Minds of Jamaica mentee. I think that's it.
Hey, exactly. Where you went to high school?
I went to Women's Girls. I get called a goose, guys.
Awesome. So I think a good place to start would just be why did you kind of reach out, or why were you interested in joining Minds of Jamaica at first?
Okay, so well, first I actually saw you guys. I saw you guys on a story, an
Yeah,
Instagram and I just went on the page. And the first thing that actually captivated me was I think the Smile Jamaica feature that you guys had because I think it was attached to the story at the time.
yeah,
And I loved it. Like I fell in love with it. And then I saw the things that you guys were doing. More so because you guys wanted to reach out and help people. I'm really big on that, but also I saw you guys wanted to fill a gap where
yeah,
there and being mentors and having been in high school and growing, everybody keeps talking about you need a mentor, you need a mentor. I thought this would be like the perfect place because okay, I'm gonna do it, I get a mentor.
yeah, yeah. So I guess so the gap that you speak of, can you speak of it from a student's perspective now? So we always claim that we always say that we know that it is just hard for students nowadays to really get the ear of these professionals who have kind of walked the path before, and that's what we're trying to address. Do you see that gap in your experience?
Oh yes, honestly, I think even when I was at high school, people your guidance counselors always telling you that you need to connect with people, and people always preaching it to you, but nobody sees a real life example of what it is, or they don't know how to connect with the person,
Yeah,
and then. More beyond just Woolmer's because I worked with NSSC, I got to understand what it was like for other students outside of the corporate area where they don't have opportunities like these. They don't know where to go and meet these people. They don't know it just feels as if things are just in one little bubble and
yeah.
nobody about it. You're telling us to go reach for an opportunity, but nobody's paving the path. And I feel as if Minds of Jamaica just kind of realize it and say, hey, we're gonna do something about it. So yeah, that would be basically the experience that I saw.
Yeah, and I think that you touch on something very important where it's almost the proximity, how close you are to a urban city, Kingston, or even Mobile, really drastically changes the opportunities that you're exposed to, right, and the people you can talk to. And I know as a student, even if we say reach out to, if you see somebody try to network and reach out, it is kind of nerve wracking, is it not?
Oh my gosh, I hate it. I am shambles whenever it comes to networking. You don't even know what to say. Hi, I'm Tamoy. Like nobody gives you a little script or say these words or how do you ask for the
Yeah.
number? How do you connect on LinkedIn? Like nobody says those things to you. You're kind of just
Yeah,
putting students into the deep end with no instructions at all.
yeah, and I think a lot of times you don't know if the person even care to want to talk to you, right? So you feel like you're bothering them or something. And I think with what we are trying to do, the a key part of it is that we are saying we have already kind of done the hard part in trying to figure out who cares enough to talk to
Mm-hmm.
adults and talk to students, right? So we're trying to curate a list and say, hey, we know by the mere fact of these people being on Minds of Jamaica as a mind, they are already saying that, hey, I want to speak to you, I want to kind of share my information and so on. So we're trying to like communicate to students that we're trying to remove that part of it. These are people who want to talk. You know, if we wonder if them care or them business or anything like that. Because I think that is really even me remembering, even now still you can get into that space where you're like you don't know, you're trying to read the person, you're trying to figure out if they even care. So when you think even before Minds Jamaica, when you thought about mentorship, what do you think that looked like?
Oh God, I think for me before Minds of Jamaica, mentorship was just somebody who was in the profession that you wanted to be in, and you just talk to them. They basically train you, teach you some stuff, give you some opportunities, and that's it.
Yeah.
Also, I always thought it was like somebody had to be really older than you. Um, yeah, but I think now I have a complete different outlook on mentorship. I think for me, it's not just the professional help; it's the realistic life goals. I
Exactly.
they just kind of drop little nuggets of truth, inspiration, and make you understand this is what the real world is like. They give you a reality check. I also see that people actually invest time and effort into what you have to do. They care. I know my mentor, like we schedule calls and things like that. They help you with projects. And it doesn't always have to be somebody aligned to your profession. I mean, they could just help you through the whole process. Mind you, it's good to have somebody in the same field. But
Yeah.
mentorship now for me, it takes a 360-degree holistic view. It's life skills, it's professional help, it's being there, it's just talking to you even about my day. You kind of realize that sometimes when you're meant to have a friendly relationship
Yeah.
and you, oh, this is like a breath of fresh air.
And I think it it is definitely something that is satisfying to hear you even say that, because that's kind of what we want to do, is kind of expose and transform how students think mentorship should be. Because I know even you might call your mentor just because something went wrong. It's not necessarily a career thing, but you call them to just hear the input and a calming voice or somebody to bounce something off of, and it helps, right?
Absolutely. Like it can just be, oh, this happened today in class, or oh my gosh, people bail on me, or this case I didn't even know it. You realize that you kind of move from just always professional, but somebody who just can say something to, and you feel comfortable just being like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think we all fall into the trap of kind of thinking everything that happens is such a big, catastrophic event, right? Especially as students. I remember that, like, everything that happened, a one bad grade, or something goes wrong, and you think it's in the world. So it's a relieving thing to have someone have been through it, to tell you that, hey, actually that doesn't is not the end of the world. And that's really what things like career mentorship is one thing, and that's something that we are very passionate about and exposing to and exposing students to. But it's also just another person to bounce ideas off, to rely on, to reinforce that things will be fine, things will work out, and that kind of stuff. So in terms of your personal goals, though, I was wondering kind of what are some things that you would say Minds of Jamaica maybe have helped you accomplish along the way since joining.
Oh gosh, so before MOJ, my life, I think, shambles. Like,
Oh God.
yeah, like organization. I'm a chronic overthinker. Come here, I'm the type of person who would do the mental breakdown because of one bad grade. Um,
Yeah.
if I'm going to be very serious, I love literatures in English, and I've had this really big vision for a very long time, and I didn't really know how to get there. I was always thinking of the end goal, but because I wasn't in like a tech space, because my idea does revolve around that, I didn't think I could do anything.
Yeah.
So, Minds of Jamaica literally just little homework, like what are your goals, what you want to accomplish, this just setting time structure, and
Yeah.
then along the way that right now I can say I've probably hosted literatures in English sessions on Zoom,
Hey.
because yeah, MOJ, I honestly, and what I realized is like it's a little basically little footsteps to the big picture that I have, and I didn't realize it at first. I always wanted to just leap and go to the final, but
Yeah.
I realized that you could do little things along the way that can have meaningful impact. And at the end of the day, you reach out. My mentor even helped me create the poster, tell me that you must caption it like that, little things like do a Zoom link, check over the form. Like MOJ just kind of saved my
Yeah.
life.
And I think you give examples that are not, it's not huge
Yeah,
monumental advice. It's the little things, and that's what it's about. because everything once you just get the next step or some insight into what the next step could be, it just help you get there, because you have to take that first step, and that's what I'm passionate about. Because my mentors similarly, every time there's something I want to accomplish and I have like no clue where to go, they might not know every step along the way, but they can say, well, if it was them because of their experience and they've been there before, they would do XYZ. And if they don't know, then they might know somebody else who who does. And that's kind of really what we want to highlight, and that's why I want to give you this platform to kind of even speak more about that. So in your estimation, in terms of students and their kind of openness to mentorship, do you think they view it as something that is important? Do you think they think of it as something that's kind of an afterthought, maybe some I get around to, or how do you think students view it?
I think it's a little bit of both. Just because some of the young people I know now are avid fans of everything I need a mentor for. I mean, they just say, I need a mentor. They ask somebody on Twitter and they want somebody to help them. But at the same time, Camir, I think mentorship and a mentor also, it's kind of a misnomer. People say we just always hear that you need to do this, you need to get this, but if you're not giving me the opportunity, the platform, or the place, I'm just gonna think of it as okay, something I can always do later. So
Yeah.
I do think take it very seriously. Other persons, it's just another thing that goes through your ear, and if the opportunities aren't aligned, if they're not in front of me now, or there's so many obstacles, why should I even care? I go back to the persons who are sometimes not living in corporate areas suffer the most because of that. They don't have this access to the opportunities. They're just gonna say, okay, get a mentor. Where's the mentor? And so kind of like a balance for the both of them.
Yeah, and that is really what kind of saddens me, especially thinking about people who are not, again, in those urban areas. Because, schools will try to do, they have a career day, a career fair, and so on and so forth. But your interaction with those people really end at the end of that day. And a lot of, again, as students, you have a lot of people are shy, right? So they don't even ask the questions when the person is there on that career day to ask them, right? So we really wanted to give you opportunity where even if it's 11 o'clock at night and a question about a career or something pop up, you can at least go on the platform and like submit that question and expect to get a response from somebody who probably has some insight, right? And you don't have to worry about your friend not hear the question we ask, or your friend I think says a stupid question, or you don't know that yet. You claim say you want to be XYZ and you don't know that. So those are the kind of stuff, because you realize that those kind of things just, they're counterproductive, right? They do not help you in any way. You end up continuing down a path without any kind of guidance and direction, and you're trying to get there quickly. And I heard somebody say the other day that direction is more important than like the speed, right? So going in the right direction is more important than getting to some direction or some endpoint quickly, right? And I think that is something that is super important. And I guess if you were to speak about mentorship to your peers, or like try to explain to them why it is that it is important, what are some of the points you kind of touch on?
Okay, I definitely say that you basically find a friend, if I'm going to be honest. I think I'd say to them also that you don't need to be, it's very much of a safe space. At least that's how I feel with my mentor. To get practical advice. A lot of the times, I think we keep filling up our heads with everything so theory based. You have
the cliche quotes and
yes,
yeah.
We're over that now. I mean, my mentors suggest stuff like podcasts or magazines or articles I should read, or little homework assignments, right? Practical things.
Yeah.
You get and you just feel this sense of comfort. Nothing is ever wrong. Nothing is ever too way out. You just tell me what your idea is, and I can help you guide you along the way. You just kind of get a very wise sage who's also kind of cool and can have a vibe. I don't know. That's what
I just want you to even think back to when you first started talking, engaging with your mentor on Minds of Jamaica versus now, like the investment. Because one thing we always try to is that, it's something you have to invest in, right? You spend the time, and then over time you get more comfortable and you get to be able to share more things. So how have your attitudes in terms of like nervousness or so on changed over the course of that?
Oh gosh. So first I was like so formal. I was so scared. Everything was hello, good night, or my apologies for some. I was like so prim and proper. No, it was up. Oh my gosh, like it's like I'm dying. I'm friend,
Yeah.
comfortable because you realize that barrier doesn't need to be there anymore. And I don't know what I love with mentorship is that I think people who mentor people are just superheroes without cape. You
Mm.
it's an amazing thing to invest in people. It's very beautiful, and I am always so appreciative of people who would give their time and effort. And they don't. It's the little things, cause trust me, practical advice just telling me to calm down. My mentor always telling me that you need to stop talking so fast, and to kind of create a space in your mind where failure can occur because I have a tendency to always ignore it.
Yeah.
Trying so perfect all the time, and I whenever something goes awry, I crash. And that's the type of investment that for me makes the difference. So it's maybe not something grand and great as you would have alluded to before, but it's just little tidbits of truth and inspiration that just move you. And honestly, guys, if you don't have a mentor, please go on MOJ and get a mentor. Like honestly, it just makes
It's a big up. Yeah, I mean, I'm so appreciative of all the minds who, sign up to be, to make themselves available on the platform as well. Because I agree. I think that is something that is it's very selfless of them. And I think it's hilarious that you make the point about practical advice versus the cliche, my advice to you is to shoot for the stars. So if you miss, you land on a cloud and so on. And there's, I always said there's a space for those kind of things, and sometimes they can be helpful. But I tend to lean more towards I want some practical information, not something you read in some quote book or whatever. But to each their own. but thank you very much, Tamoy, for agreeing to kind of come on board and kind of share your story and your experience with Minds of Jamaica so far. I think these are conversations that will be super helpful. So I'm looking forward to having more of them with other mentees along the way too. So thanks for paving the way for the ones to come soon after. But yeah, everybody reach out if you have any questions about even choosing a mind. You can always reach out to the email or to Minds of Jamaica Instagram. We're always happy to help. You can find us at themindsofcom. But happy to be here. Thank you again, Tamoy, and we'll talk again soon.
bye.
All right, bye everybody. Take care.